Yes, my dear students, this aspect of globalization, one of them is information and communication technology. Information and communication technology has influenced the developments of the world system and another things which has become the product of globalization. Through information and communication technology, now people can communicate and share ideas from one nation to another nation, or one person from another person on the same times. Another is movement of people. This aspect of globalization also has simplified or has made the simplification of the movement of people from one place to another place because of the improvement of science and technology. Example, the using of cars and airplane and the other transport like ship and the others. So through this, people now can share information from one region to another region, or from one country to another country, or from one continent to another continent, because of the availability of transport system, which is very crucial and systematic to pass information from one people to another, from one person to another person in a certain community. Spread of idea and ideology. Spread of idea and ideology. This also is the aspect of globalization, whereby people today are sharing ideas and ideologies from different countries through science and technology. Example, the using of internet system. The use of internet system today has simplified communication of people from one country to another country, or from one continent to another continent, because each and everything today is available on the system or on the internet system, whereby internet system has become the package of the information, whereby today people are studying online. People today are receiving good informations, the worldwide informations which exist or occur every day. So, dear students, globalization has the different aspect. Another aspect is finance. Example, global flow of money. Finance. The global flow of money has become as another aspect of money due to the movement of people from one place to another place, involving in a commercial system or in a trading system, whereby people buy goods from one country to another country so that they can produce and sell material or sell those goods so that they can accumulate profit. So through involving in this finance, people invest in different trade and another investments issues. So through that, after looking finances issues, let us look the rise of intellectual property. The rise of intellectual property now also is another aspect of globalization, because this speed of this rise of intellectual property, this is due to the impact of globalization in the world. Through developing of science and technology, today people are intellectual. So through intellectual people, today they are producing intellectual property, because each and everything that is created by people who using the higher science and technology, they produce the good quality things compared to other people who using raw science and technology. So through that, the rise of intellectual properties has become the product or the effect of globalization in the world. Also, there is a free market economy. Free market economy also is another aspect of globalization, whereby free market economy means people are moving from one nation to another nations, involving for trading activities without barriers. So through removing these barriers, now people are ready to accumulate enough capital to accumulate profit because of this free markets as the aspect of globalization. People now today are accumulating enough capital and to contribute national income through paying taxes and another revenues. So another is a privatization process. Privatization process also is an aspect of globalization, whereby today the nations privatize its properties or its resources to the people, so that they can own that major means of production, so that the country can earn profit from the investors, can earn profit from the businessman, or can accumulate those profits from different privatization members or members of different sectors, whereby the country today involved in investing in different areas. As example, in agriculture, whereby after involving in agriculture, then the country privatize or decided to privatize those investments to the private people, so that they can develop that area. So at the end of the day, the country earn some amount of money as the taxpayer. Also, after looking at that, so let us see the objective of privatization. The objective of privatization in any country, the first of all, is to create a more market-oriented economy. To create a more market-oriented economy, this means that after the country to privatize its properties or its resources to the private sector, the private sector now can involve in higher production of material and to increase higher production, so that to improve the country economy or the world economy. Another is to improve economic productivity efficiency. Through privatization, the private sector now involved in production, whereby those production it is more efficient because of the target, whereby the country today targeted to create enough employment opportunities. Now the country decided to privatize the resources or the properties to the people, so that these people can create different opportunities and hence lead to the employment to people with the unemployment. So point number 3, to reduce the challenges in increase in public debt. This is due to the situation whereby a country cannot afford to run itself the project. So now, after the government to fail to run itself the project, now decided to privatize those properties, so that. Yes, my dear students, let us continue with the session. So, after looking the aspect of globalization, now let us see the advantage of privatization. The first point is it increases efficiency in provisioning of goods. Globalization, due to the improvement of science and technology, it has increased the efficiency in production or in provision of goods because of using high technology. These high technology are like machines and other things which can produce goods of a high quality. Therefore, after looking at this first point, let us see the second point, which is privatization, rise of competition among the investors. Privatization has led to the competition of these investors, because the private sector in everyday life has been producing more goods of a higher quality. So through that situation, according to one company could produce goods with the high quality, and another company can produce goods of low quality. So this will create a gap among one product with the other product. So through that one product will be at the higher value and another will not have a higher quality. So through that, so the investors today has created the competitive so that they can produce the same things produced with another company, so that each company can sell goods in a higher price, so that they can produce and it creates an accumulation of profit. So through that, the private sector has led to the competition among the investors. Also, it meets the demands beyond the government capacity. Private sector today, as we know, private sector has focused much in production according to the investments. The private sector always involved in the huge investments. So through huge investments, they produce goods that is very potential in the community and in the markets, the market. So through doing that, the capacity of goods that has been produced is more than the demand of the government, which is very good win-win situation, because the government can consume goods from the company, and the members of the government or the citizens in the country also can use those goods from the company in the enough amount of quality. Also, it increases government revenue. How the private sector of privatization has increased the government revenue through paying tax, through paying revenue in the governments. The private sector has been the first line to produce goods since of a higher quality, whereby this goods leading to the increase of the revenue by either buying those goods by the foreign currency or by paying taxes and other corrections money. So through that, the revenue of the government has increased because of the differences investors which has invested in their private institution. Now, those institutions involved in the production. So through that production, the institution increase the production. So that production, the institution in amount of money which the investors to pay revenue and tax to the government, hence led to the development of the government. Also, let it help to boost up science and technology. How privatization made the boost of the science and technology. The private sector led to the boost of science and technology because the private sector always invested in the huge industries, whereby now in the industries the application of science and technology is very high. So through this situation, the private sector need high science and technology so that they can produce more as much as they can, so that they can create enough profit compared to other institutions. After looking at the advantage of privatization, now let us say the advantage of privatization in the world economy or in the country. It increases unemployment to indigenous people. This is true because as the private sectors invest, come up with their laborers, skilled and unskilled laborers, they do not trust the indigenous people. Indigenous people are around in that area of investment, while they are trusting their fellow members from outside the country. So by doing that, people falling in the area of investment or indigenous people automatically do not get employment. So it led to unemployment opportunity. The second, it increases the sense of exploitation. How exploitation is, the government after giving the license to invest in a certain place, these investors has been exploiting each and everything, all the resources which are available in that area, whereby at the end of the time we find that the resources that each and everything that were available there has been exploited with those people, or people who are employed in the private sector are being exploited because of paying low wages or receiving low salary. So that is another disadvantage of globalization. After looking at that, let us see another point, which is it increases the rate of moral erosion. Moral erosion also, this is another disadvantage of privatization in the world economy or in the country, because moral erosion is due to the coming up with the new culture from people who are coming to invest in a certain country, are moving from their home with their own culture. So after coming with their own culture, they come up and they spread that culture in the area of investment, whereby even those people or indigenous people around that area copy the situation or copy or receive that culture of people from external countries. And finally, moral erosion exists. Privatization policy increases the rate of poverty. The policy of privatization increases poverty because we find that the policy of privatization sometimes they impose their policies whereby the indigenous people do not get employment and they stay unemployed. So whereby they fail even to get basically to run their life. And this is one of the factors which led to the poverty of the members of the society. Also, privatization related to sometimes may pay low amount of taxes to the government, whereby the government is become poor and the exploited resources is very high, but still they are paying low amount of money in the government. So after looking this point, let us see point number 5, it killed the local industry sector. That is what after privatization, the private sector come up with their own policies, whereby they impose the policy in the government or the law that in the government should not run their own industries, but only the private sector will build that industry and will produce goods in the industry. So through that, by putting that laws will lead to the collapse of the industrial sectors, which has been only with the government until the government decided to privatize those industries in the investor. So after looking this, all in all, this was the disadvantage of privatization. So after looking at that, let us say the issue of democratization. Democratization process is assessed by looking at the following principles. Democratization. Democracy is the government of the people, for the people, by the people, in a certain place. So by looking at democracy, to be having democracy or the existence of democracy in a certain place, the following principle must be followed. Free and fair political competition. If there is free and fair political competition in a certain country, this symbolizes that there is democracy in a certain country. If free and fair political competition is not there, means there is dictatorship in the certain country, but there is no democratization. The democratization is the situation whereby people are free to elect their correspondents or a leader whom they trust. So that is all about it. Free and fair political competition. Second is tolerance. Tolerance, that is another indicator of democratization. If leaders are tolerant to the members or to the members of the government or to the country or to the whole citizen in the country, this shows that leaders are there because of democratization and are not there because of dictatorship. Through this tolerance is what shows the situation in how leaders could lead the nations. After looking at that, I see the citizen participation. Citizen participation in any country, if there is democratization, people has been given a chance to participate in all political affairs, to participate in all social activities, to participate in all national issues. So through that, this citizen participation is one of the indicators of democratization in any country in the world. After looking at that, I see the issue of equality. Equality, which means that in any country, if there is democratization, all people are equal. No any people is above the law. So through doing that, people should be equal. People should be given a chance to contribute in any economic activities, social or political activities in any community. So through doing that, if democratization is there, equality is there. So if not, there is no democracy, there is no equality. Also there is accountability. Accountability, this is especially how a leader are responsible or are responsible in the community to work for the whole members of the community or for the benefit of the community and not leader to work for the benefit of his family or for the benefit of his or herself. That will be selfish. Another is economic freedom. Economic freedom, which means people in the country, if there is a privatization, people in the country are allowed or are given a chance to involve in economic freedom or in economic activities. Example, in making trade, in entrepreneurship, in making small business or in huge business, people are free to pay tax. But if there is no democratization, people are not involved in economic freedom. Also, control of power. Control of power, this means the top leader, if there is a president in the country, the top leader must control the power, should not use the power to overrule or to make people to live under extreme conditions or to make people to live in a poor lives or to make people to live without rights because of power. Democracy should be used so that people can live the way how people are supposed to live. So dear class, after looking this democratization, so before marking the end of the session, let us see this question. Explain 5 aspects of globalization in the world. Aspect of globalization we have seen. So I need everybody of you to answer this question, aspect of globalization, and then you will give me a feedback. Thank you, dear class. Thank you, my students. Read and read your notes so that you can understand the concept of globalization and what we have read today. Thank you very much.
Purchase your tracks today.